If you know me, you know that I'm a big fan on mixing on headphones. I've been mixing on headphones for quite a while, on top of using my studio monitors, but I do like the experience when mixing on headphones for several reasons. And there are tools out there to help with that experience, like room emulation plugins, that I don't use often, but still can be very useful to bring you in a studio environment when mixing using headphones. There's tools like Can Opener that will fix the crossbleed or crosstalk problem we have when mixing on headphones, and also tools like Sound ID Reference to flat up the EQ curve of your headphones when mixing, which I'm not a fan of, to be honest with you. Sound ID was never a tool that I used a lot with my headphones. Actually, I just use it with only one pair of headphones that I don't mix with a lot. And for the rest, I just used my headphones as they are without any EQs whatsoever. Until a few months ago, when I landed on a video made by Paul III about EQing headphones. Now, I don't know Paul at all, never met him, never spoke to him, okay? But quick shout out to Paul, because this video was a eye-opener for me anyways. And he also made an interview with Emra Celik, who is an award-winning mixing engineer that mixes on headphones and that also use the Harman Curve Target. So what the heck is the Harman Curve Target? You're gonna ask me. The Harman Curve is a frequency curve for headphones that aims to create an audio experience close to the sound of high-quality speakers in a controlled environment like a recording studio, which helps to achieve a well-balanced mix that translates well on most systems. So that is the whole idea about using the Harman Curve to EQ headphones, especially when mixing on headphones. So I've been using the Harman Curve since I've watched this video. I wanted to test it out, see how it goes. Honestly, I am hooked. So from this point, I start to EQ all of my headphones, and for me, they sound way better. And on my side, I love it. I love applying this type of EQ on my headphones when mixing. And yes, my mixes do translate way better when I mix on headphones on most systems. And that is what is the most important for me, especially when mixing on headphones. So let me show you the process I do to apply this type of EQ curve on my headphones. Okay, first, let's go on a website called autoeq.app. It's a free resource website where they list a bunch of headphones, if not all of them. I'm gonna say most of them. So let's go and EQ these Sennheiser's HD 490 open back headphones. They're good headphones, by the way. So I'm just gonna look it up on top. Sennheiser HD 490 Pro, and the one that I have are with the mixing ear pads. And there you go. Okay, let's break this down. First, on the left, I have different targets I can choose from. I use the Harman Over Ear 2018. Now, there's several target versions of the Harman Curve. They updated that through the years, but this one is the one I like so far. But they are pretty close to each other, so it doesn't matter much. I'm gonna uncheck those and just keep the target option. So this is what the Harman Curve looks like, okay? And by clicking Raw, this is the curve of the headphone. Let me bring the target back. So there's a bit of differences. So next, I'm gonna go on the right side and select an EQ app. Okay, now there's a list of several apps you can use. Maybe you already use some of those options straight on your computer, whether you're on Mac or PC. But in my case, I wanna use a regular EQ that I'm gonna add inside Cubase. So I'm gonna select Custom Parametric EQ, and it's gonna recommend an EQ curve for these headphones. So I'm gonna click on Equalized, remove Raw, and there you go. So this is my new EQ curve that is close to the Harman Curve. And close is good because I don't need to be super on target, and the reason is I do some adjustments by ear afterwards. Because with the Harman Curve, it will add more bass in general, especially on headphones that are lacking bass, and sometimes it might be a bit too much, and this is what happened in my experience on all of my headphones. I always had to tweak the amount of bass frequencies afterwards. Individual listening preferences will vary from one individual to another. Now, the Harman Curve was based on a collective listener data, so some engineers may prefer a different tonal balance depending on their personal taste. So that's why on my side, I do make some adjustments. But this is a very, very good start. There's still room to play around the settings from these filters, and that will adjust the results which are going to be listed at the bottom of that page. So those are the settings I'm going to add to the EQ I'm going to work with in Cubase. And this is what I did. So if I go on Cubase, I'm using the Pro Q3, and I have a bunch of presets, and those are the EQ settings I needed to add on the Pro Q3 to EQ my headphones. Like I told you before, I did some adjustments. I brought down a bit of the low end, same for the top end, just to bring them a bit more to my taste, and that was good enough, and I was good to go, and that did the job pretty well. Now, there's something here that I need to mention. If you're planning on using the Pro Q3 especially, FabFilter uses bi-quad filters, so that means that my Q settings are not going to be the same, like listed right here. So to convert that Q factor to my FabFilter Pro Q3 EQ, I needed to multiply the value by 1.41, and that's it. So that is the only thing if you're planning to use the FabFilter Pro Q3 for other EQs. No problem whatsoever. So I just wanted to point that out. So this is what it looks like. Now, I did the same with my Odyssey MM500. And honestly, I like them better with the EQ on. It's crazy. Let's just select this one. And this is the EQ curve I have for these headphones. So let's go back to the website. MM500. Odyssey. And there you go. So I did a bit of tweaking, especially to bring down a bit of that bump that I have. Now, when I do tweaking, I do look at the frequencies from 20 Hertz to around 5K, and I try to get as close as I can to the curve. Above 5K, I don't bother much. There's too many variables, depending on the headphones you use and the way they're designed, that it doesn't matter that much, and I do the adjustments by ear afterwards if needed. But now I want to bring that down a bit. Now, these are not super easy to adjust, okay? But what I'm going to do in this case is add a filter. I'm going to add a filter, and I know that the problem that I have is at around 3K. So I'm going to bring the minimum frequency to 3000 Hertz to 4000 Hertz. I'm not going to do anything else. And there you go. Now it brought down a bit of that bump, and the rest stays the same. So I think I'm good with that. Okay, and everything below is close to what I need. Okay, so I'm gonna keep it as is. And again, this is what I ended up with after I did some quick tweaking. And that's it. It's awesome. I love it. And something else important that I also do is I bring the output level of the EQ to the recommended preamp level of, in this case, is minus 6.2, so I just brought it down by minus 6. It's a bit normal because we're boosting frequencies. Important to balance that out, or else you're going to peak your EQ plugin, and you don't want to do that. On my end, I love it. I've been mixing with this EQ curve for months. I do like EQing my headphones this way better than using Sound ID reference. For headphones anyways, okay? On speakers, it's a different story. Honestly, my mixing on headphones experience has bumped a notch. So my recommendation, if you mix on headphones, try it out. See if that works for you. It's gonna take time. It's gonna take some time to get used to it. It doesn't mean that it's going to work well for you. And then you'll see, check if your mixes translates well, because that's the whole point. The whole point is to get a better workflow, a better experience, mix quicker, and of course, the most important, having an easy way for your mixes to translate way better on other systems. So if you want to know more about the science behind the Harmon Curve, I'm going to leave some links down below that you can check out. Until next time, take care and see you.